Hi, I'm Kathleen,
And I'm Sean.
and you're listening to the Dead Baby Bear podcast.
Dead baby bear. Long story. Scoundrels are fun.
Scoundrels are fun, and they're all over the place.
They're all over the fucking
Holy
place.
fuck. Is
Is it
it?
episode 100?
Oh, we were supposed to wear formal wear.
The century mark.
I didn't even like.
Put
Brush
on your
my
non-
hair.
put on your finest non-binaries and head on down to the studio.
Do you have pronouns? Are you a he or a they?
I don't know. Yeah, I think a he.
You're a he.
I think a he.
think a
Most
he.
days I feel he-ish.
Some days do you feel she-ish though? Do you ever get
I
in touch
guess
with your
so.
feminine side? Is what I'm trying to
The
say.
only time I get in touch with my feminine side is when I hear women complaining about like, oh, we have to do all the cleaning and all the blah, and I'm like, no, I fucking am doing it. Relax. And then I
That's you.
and then I settle
Cleaning
myself
is
down.
you being in
well,
your
no,
feminine.
like cleaning, doing all the dishes, and then hearing women complain that they always have to.
So being a woman is like.
And it's like that doesn't, just because you're a girl and you're doing it doesn't mean all girls are doing it and
Yeah,
all
it's
no
true.
guys are doing it. Like fucking dumb girls. They're always like, "Oh, we have to do this."
I love how you
Like
said
women
though,
are funny because they don't like, oh my, nobody fits in a box, nobody, everything's different, all situations are different, and then they're like, how come girls have to do all this and guys don't have to? And it's like, wait a minute, now you're dealing in generalities. Like when it suits you, you deal in generalities.
Yeah.
When it doesn't suit you, then everybody's this fucking snowflake.
Yeah.
Fucking girls.
I just love that you said that you getting in touch with your feminine side is just like cleaning your house.
What is a
And
feminine
cooking.
side?
I don't
just
know, like
fucking enjoying cake and
wearing
blankets.
a silk blouse.
It's
Enjoying cake
fucking
and what?
Cake and blankets. It's just cake, and then you have an even dumber version of comedy, which is everything's a wine joke.
Oh, I hate
Like,
that. I call
dad-
that mom jokes. You know
it
how they
is
have dad
mom co-
jokes?
but
Wine
it's so
jokes
funny.
are mom jokes.
It's
They're
so funny
terrible.
that that's still not considered garbage comedy.
Oh, it is by
Is it?
most people.
Yeah,
Not
Or
like by the basic bitches, it
No,
isn't. But no,
yeah.
most people like I cannot stand when if I walk into someone's house and they have like a wine joke on their fridge, I'm out. I leave.
yeah, gone.
Unless you're like, no, that's totally ironic and I think it's dumb. Yeah,
or
okay.
like a joke glass, a joke size of glass.
Yeah,
where they're like, look at this. Sometimes mommy needs a little extra.
I did get a large
Yeah.
joke champagne glass for like a bridal shower and I actually love it. I like
Oh, really?
drink other stuff out of it. But no, I know. The wine humor is the hackiest female humor out there, I think.
Yeah.
Wine humor.
Periods back big time.
Periods are fine because
Periods are good because you're having them.
yeah, we've always been having them.
You're
Sean.
always having them.
It's not like it's just not like
Is
20.
it thinner when you're drinking? Is it a thinner bleed when you're on red wine?
You know what? I
You
have
notice
like,
like
low
the
iron.
viscosity of blood? Or you're like, whoa, it's running thick. Mommy's running thick this
You do
month.
not want to talk about this.
No? Are you running? Is
Although
there a
I'm supposed to
viscosity?
be-
Is there a thermal
although-
viscosity breakdown?
Yeah, there is. I'm supposed to be like
Hmm.
proud of my period now, I guess, apparently, because there's a big movement on TikTok to be like, don't be ashamed of your period. Like, if you ever hidden your tampon as you walk to the bathroom at school, or like, have you ever gotten up worried you stained something? I'm like,
It's
yeah,
just an oil
everyone.
change. This is a little oil change. That's all. Your pussy's an engine, and you can't just have the same
What
red
do you
oil
tell your
in there.
sons about periods? Have you talked
Nothing.
to them
Who
about a
cares?
period yet?
Who gives a shit? Yeah, not to.
Well, yeah,
not
haha.
to. I mean, I don't. What do they
But do you
need to
tell
know
them
about
like
periods?
don't make fun of girls if she's got blood on her pants or something? Just be like, you're so tough, you got blood on your pants.
Wow, look at you fighting. I don't know. No, I haven't spoken to them about it.
Yeah, I guess
feel
the
like- I
boner is
feel
the
like I
period
don't-
for the dude, but
Pregnancy is the only issue, right?
yeah,
That's it.
that's the only
Even
issue.
STIs can be cured.
Yeah,
So who cares?
Yeah.
That stuff, who cares? Get HIV, who cares?
Who cares?
Like
You're good now.
everybody needs to go through it. It's like COVID.
you gotta get herd HIV
Everybody's
immunity.
herd immunity. Let's
Everybody's-
let HIV. Let's just keep fucking until everybody's got HIV.
Maybe that's what I mean. Isn't it cured now? Like, can't you live with it now?
You need like a triple cocktail. You need your little Magic Johnson goblets, and
I love that they call like the medicine for AIDS cocktails. Like, it's weird.
it's there's a triple.
Does any other disease have a
Like, sorry, you were on the triple mocktail. You're dead. Triple mocktail? Oh no, there was no booze in that. I'm dying.
Oh my god! I started taking my dogs to daycare.
Okay.
because it was not because I'm not at home, but because it was so cold. Like dogs couldn't go out, and they were driving me bananas.
Oh yeah.
And then I took them to daycare, and you can watch the daycare room on a webcam. So you,
Oh,
which
no.
was awful because like this is why I don't want to be an actual mom. Like I was watching, and at one point Dottie's like sitting in the corner, just like looking sad, and then Eugene just like wandering around. Now the other dogs are talking to either of them, and I'm like, oh god, my dogs are the dorks.
I've
Oh,
got to go
no.
back. I've got to go back.
I gotta homeschool them.
Yeah.
My dogs are the dorks. I have to homeschool them. I can't
Oh
see
my
them go
God!
through
Look
this.
at all those non-Christian dogs. Look at all
But
those
it was so
non-Christians.
sad. The dogs were playing around them, and they're just like,
Well, they got to get used to it, Kathleen. That's what a girl there will tell you.
That's true. That's what
They
they say.
have to get used to
They're
it.
usually it's
You have to
usually like
give
3
them-
or 4 or 5 or 6
Yes.
visits. So it's about $500 away from them looking like they're having fun.
I like it when people try to like spout facts about animals that are just like human. They're just like
Yeah.
throw human stuff into dog world.
Yeah.
Oh well, it takes them some time to get accustomed to all the different like. Thank you, Vivian. Everybody on Earth knows that. Throw me something like a real fact. God, I hate it. I hate fucking people. They're so.
I hate people too.
Well, the thing is, like, shut the fuck up. Are you an RN? No. Are you a veterinarian? No. Like, but I know dog emotions. Oh my God. You know your own emotions that you fucking plant on this animal. You dumb idiot. Whatever. Who cares? How was your Christmas? Good? Did you get anything good for Christmas?
Did I get anything good? Not really. Like we went to BC. I got a curling iron.
Oh,
we went
boy.
to Whistler though. My cousin just moved to Whistler, and they have like.
Have you ever
this-
used a curling iron on pubic hair?
No, and I also flat irons on beards. I saw a guy flat ironing his beard. I was like, "What the fuck?" It looks so stupid. It's just like straight down. I'm like, it looks I didn't know guys did that, and I saw that. I'm like, I wanted to. I saw this guy on TikTok. I wanted to message him and be like, "I'm just saying, like that. Don't do that. Do not. You look
Yeah.
so fucking stupid." But then I'd be called a bully or something.
Yeah,
but
no. Are you beard shaming
I
him?
was
because
I was beard
yeah.
shamed. I felt bad.
Nobody
for
should
him.
have like a Chewbacca beard, like because
Well, a
Chewbacca
beard's
has like
supposed to be,
straight.
like-
yeah,
Yeah.
Chewie has like
Yeah.
straight beard,
Yeah.
straight hair. But you'd look so dumb with a
Yeah.
straight haired beard. And I have seen a couple straight hair beard guys.
Yeah.
Usually
It's
in bands.
weird.
They're usually in like alt bands or like alt rock bands. They usually play the drums.
Also, that man takes so much time on his beard. I'm like, okay, you are too much. If you're gonna sit at home with a flat iron, it's gonna take you at least a half an hour. You're gonna have to put shit in your beard, sit there and flat iron. Like, no, you're high maintenance. You're a high maintenance basic bitch. That's what you are.
Oh, so you did Christmas in
BC.
BC. That was nice.
It was so nice when we got there. It was like not cold at all. But then they had a snowstorm, and then it snowed on Christmas Day, and everyone's like, "Isn't this magical?" And I was like, "No, this is not magical. This is dumb." I left my province to get away. At least it wasn't minus 30 there, but it was.
It was
minus
-10. They
10.
couldn't handle it, right?
But it's way colder than you think. there.
Oh, because there's moisture in the
See,
air
the
and it
thing
gets
is,
into
Sean,
your bones.
Listen, Sean, I'm a part-time meteorologist,
I
and I just want to
love
let you
that.
know that wet cold is way colder than
Oh,
dry cold.
Yeah, I love that we're in 2022 and people will still.
It's true.
If they're
though,
like,
Sean.
"Oh, I was out there in the thing, and it wasn't. It wasn't as cold, but it seemed colder." Well, like the number of people who can't wait to jump on, like explaining the concept of humidity to you is always mind-boggling.
Yeah, but
you know?
but it's true.
It's true. But everybody's like, "Well, you see,
That's why I
like,
hated
this
these-
is my moment to be a scientist." Everybody can't wait to jump on their little moment to be scientists.
Just like everybody can't wait to post about a dead celebrity.
There are things in the air that are unseeable to our eye.
Yeah.
If we were cats or dogs, we'd see the humidity and we'd bat at it all day. We'd see that water in the air.
I think people get a little thrill when they're like, "Oh my god, they just died an hour ago. Yes, I get
The
to announce
celebrity?
it." I really think that happens.
Sure, yeah, there's definitely people that are like,
Yeah.
"Boom, I did it."
First, yeah,
the
it's
case.
weird. It's odd.
Well, because they kind of know that now my thread's going to be the thread,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm the first person to say it.
Oh.
And so this is going to be the
No.
predominant thread
Oh my god,
of my
are
friend
you
group.
serious? Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of other people posting, they'll just be like, "Well, I'll just chime in on Kathy's one of Claire. She was a wondrous person." Oh boy, here we go again. How many people die, and then people are like, "Fucking what a douchebag."
Did you ever work with Bob Saget? or meet him?
No,
I ever met
always
him.
heard he was nice.
I always heard he was really nice. I might have met him once, but I don't think so. But yeah, that was sad.
I kind of like the fact that he was like the dad from Full House,
And
and
he
then
was
he'd come and do
filthy as
stand up, and he
fuck.
was
Yeah.
his stand up was
It was
filthy.
Perfect. It was
And
perfect.
he never. It wasn't really like a there wasn't really like a warning,
Yeah.
and it wasn't just like, oh, well, he's a little naughty. It was like, I think some of his material was about fucking one of his Full House daughters.
Oh yeah,
Or, like,
he's had. Oh, it's what's really funny. This is what. So I went to watch his Aristocrats because it's one of the greatest. Like it's fucking disgusting and it's really good. It's about 8 minutes long. But then I went to the comment section and it's hilarious because it's like, this was before he died. So all these people are like, this man should be canceled. Blah, blah, blah. This is horrifying. How dare he's a father. Like, who cares? There's a lot of fathers that are horrifying. He was a.
Yeah, there's a plenty.
I always
of
find the
fathers
dirtiest.
who are sick.
I find the dirtiest comics to be the kindest, nicest people, and then the
Yeah.
ones
Well,
that.
dads are usually worse than non-dads.
Yeah.
Because dad men are men who didn't even have the fucking gumption to like fuck with a condom on.
To stop a pregnancy.
Yeah. Like grown men who don't have children. I'm like, okay, that's the guy I want babysitting my kids, not the guy who doesn't know when to pull out or like that pregnancy can happen. Like, what? You're pregnant. Uh-oh. I made a mistake. I don't want that guy like, folding my laundry. I want the guy who's like, I just pulled out or I wear condoms all the time. I understand that kids cost money. I'm on a budget. People that can
Yeah.
plan. Planners.
But
Men who
kids
can
do cost
plan.
money.
Any guy with a child is just a man who can't plan or like extrapolate. Fucking now, thousands of dollars later. One orgasm, the inability to retire comfortably.
Yeah.
So, no. I want the non-kid guy doing all the work.
Do you have
As soon
a
as you have
Manny?
children, just, you should just jump out. What?
Do you have a Manny?
What is a Manny?
A man nanny.
No, I've never heard of the Manny.
Do you have a nanny?
No. No nannies. No. Imagine, well, they're not that expensive. That's what rich people, that's when you're in Sherwood Park.
There's nannies
When
everywhere.
when somebody's like, oh, maybe we should get a nanny, and then somebody else says, they're not that expensive. Right? That's the humidity. That's the
They're cheaper
humidity
than
mop.
daycare.
It's not that much. We go in with Mitch and Barb, and it's only $18.50.
Yeah, and we all bring our 6 kids to this one poor woman.
Yeah, you buy a human who doesn't speak English, and they do everything. You just do hand motions, and you go clean walls. El Clino all walls tonight. And then you fucking go play darts. Like, that's what's weird is I can't imagine relaxing in my own home
And having someone doing
while
shit around
another
you.
human being is
Yeah.
like cleaning things I told them to clean or taking things. I just can't imagine that. It's just
Yeah.
gross. There's
It is
something
weird.
grotesque about that.
it's
That you can comfortably sit in your own filth
Yeah.
while another human being like cleans your filth and raises your
Yeah.
children and does everything.
Yeah,
What am
but
I?
a
What am I?
nanny
The
is
king
not-
of England?
a nanny is not a maid. Like, you're paying this woman to
But
watch
they
your
do
kids.
everything.
I know, which is bullshit. Like, when I babysat, like if somebody was like, "Could you please empty the dishwasher?" and blah blah blah, I'd be like, "No, I'm gonna be sitting on your couch eating your snacks all night long until you come
Oh, yeah.
home."
No,
Like,
I
you
had a-
paid
I
me to watch your child.
I had a very firm one diaper policy. It was as firm as China's
He'll
one
sit
child
in-
policy.
he'll
It was
sit-
like we will abort any other diaper.
He'll sit in his own filth for the rest of the night.
Absolutely. Yeah,
You
if you're
better
coming
not
home
shit
at
yourself
11 and
early.
somebody shits at 7, you're sitting in it. You're sitting in it. Stew in it. You shouldn't have shit so early.
Doing it, that's disgusting.
I would let him stew in it. And then at 10:45, everybody's got a fresh diaper on. And then like, oh my God, they're in fresh. Yeah, they're all fresh.
Oh my God.
But I was never going to be like, oh, that stinks. And then change the diaper and then potentially have to change another one later. No. Not on my watch. Because my parents would make me take home too much money.
Yeah.
People would come home drunk and give me $50. And my dad would be like, no, go back there and tell them, no, they must have been drinking.
What?
They were drinking.
Why
and
would you tell your parents how much you made then?
I don't know. I was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have told them ever what I got. And a girl probably wouldn't have.
No.
But a boy who's a future father who can't plan things is going to be like, I got $50 and then take 40 of it back or 30 or something,
I think I've changed like one diaper in my lifetime, maybe 2. I've never really done it.
It's easy enough. It's just like fucking,
Yeah.
it's just like preparing Mexican food.
Think of the diaper as a tortilla.
Yeah. You're
And the
wrapping
shit-
it, you're folding it, you're doing the thing, you're getting the lettuce out of there.
Remember my brother babysat my half brother once, and he was like, I didn't know kids could shit up their backs. Like, he's like, this kid shit, and it went up his back.
Yeah, well, the alternative is that, one of these things breaks free, one of the straps, and now he's got shit down his leg and he's running around. Shit up the back is a good alternative to shit down the leg and all over your floor. That's really what it's all about,
Oh
the
my
back
God.
shit. Or the vagina shits, right? People
Oh
are
my
shitting in their
God.
pussies and it dries up.
Yeah, never having kids. This is
So
crazy.
it's just bath time.
Oh my God.
Just a lot of extra bath times. When the shit's caked on the pussy, you gotta
Oh my
fucking get them right in the bath. And I think they're
I'm
called
so glad you
vaginas.
didn't have daughters.
Well, if I had daughters, I would definitely be calling it a vagina. There's no doubt about it. I would
Shit
not
vagina.
be referring
You
to
never
any
call it a
under
pussy?
10 vaginas as pussies. There's no chance. So just having daughters changes your language a little bit.
Yeah.
Changes the words you use about girls' anatomy.
Yeah, and it changes the way you
But I
feel
don't,
about
because I have
women.
2 boys, I can just keep calling everything pussy.
Yeah.
Vaginas are pussy. You're a baby, you got a pussy. Just like girls could say cock about a baby's penis if they wanted to.
I don't think I'd ever want to, though.
No, you wouldn't want to,
Did
probably.
you get your son's cock circumcised
Yeah,
when he was
does
born?
that sound. Did you get your baby son's cock chopped off, or what? Did you just call my son's penis
cock?
just inside the womb? Like, oh, I can see a cock there. Yeah, you got a babe. You got a
There's
boy
his
coming.
elbow and there's his
Oh,
cock.
and there's his big old cock. What the fuck? Did what happened there?
I wonder if men that have
I
big,
don't know if I want to come back to this ultrasound tech.
do guys that have big penises, were they born like with a larger baby penis?
I
Or
probably
did it
on
just grow
on
that
average,
way?
I'm sure.
I
Yeah.
wonder why dicks are different. Like, why couldn't they all
I
just
don't
be
know.
the
You
same?
just get the same dick as your dad or your grandpa or whatever. Like, do you get your grandpa's dick or your dad's dick? Does that skip a generation?
I did
Is
it-
it like baldness? I don't know. Nobody really gets to the bottom of where your penis comes from.
I did the 23andMe thingy.
Did you? Did you find out you had some rare type of fucking cancer? And
No, but it says that I could have Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, I think, at some point. I'm like, great.
Yeah, I know, because I saw a documentary thing where they were talking about, or no, it's just an article. Some woman just thought 23andMe would be fun.
Yeah.
Just like anybody would. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, find out if I'm Scottish or maybe I'm part of a Romanian royal bloodline. And then you find out, no, you have like zip 9, 10, 10, 10, 7. And you're like, what does that mean? Automatic cancer.
Automatic cancer.
100% guarantee of cancer. Yeah, because so she found out that she had some kind of genetic.
But did it save her?
Marker
or did
for
she
something.
die from it?
No, she was like, okay, like she was panicking because she found out she had this genetic marker in her 23andMe.
Yeah.
So she went to her doctor thinking her doctor would be like, oh, don't worry about it. But her doctor was like, we need to get you in immediately. Like, we need
Yeah.
to get you in and get you checked for this immediately. She's like, oh my
So
God.
did it save her, though?
I think it did end up
So then
being
that's not a
good
bad thing.
Yeah, those ones are okay, but the Alzheimer's, Parkinson's ones, like, do you really want to know? But I mean,
Yeah, it can
everybody's
change.
got to go from something, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, of course, it's going to be heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's. Yeah.
Well, everything that I already have, they're like, you could get diabetes. I'm like, really? Thanks.
Beat ya.
Mate, yeah, figured it out.
Beat you to it. Genetic testing.
Is this my thingy? I can't, but yeah, I don't know.
Does it say anything good? Like, does it say you're French or Swiss?
No, I'm not French or Swiss. I'm fully European, Eastern and like UK-ish.
Okay.
I'm very like white.
Yeah. Genetically speaking, I'm a basic bitch.
I don't even have anything like fun or any kind of exotic relative. We're all just freaking
Yeah.
Ukrainian, Polish, Irish,
Even
English.
Alzheimer's is kind of a boring way to die.
I don't know
It's
if I
like,
have
what? Huh?
Alzheimer's.
Boo.
Oh, carrier status. That was the one that was weird. Like, are you carrying something? So, but I don't have like
Carrier
Bloom
status,
syndrome
I gu-
variant. Not
I guess
detected.
tell us.
I
I think
don't
I'm
have.
still with Tellus.
Look at all of these. I don't have any variants detected for all whatever
Wow.
Fanconi anemia group C is.
You,
I don't
So you're
have.
killing it. You're not carrying any genetic markers of any. Like,
No, I don't
oh,
have
you're
beta
fucked.
thalassemia and related hemoglobinopathies. I don't have any of this.
It's a good
I
thing
don't
they
think I have any
included that
variants.
because you're all over it. That was what you were really, really worried about was the hemoglobin.
No muscular dystrophy. I can't.
What about cancer and heart disease?
I don't know if it's. I don't know if Niemann-Pick disease type A. I don't have. What the fuck? Pre-leukemia. No, that's not leukemia. Sickle cell anemia. Variant not detected. Usher syndrome. What's Usher syndrome? You're just really cool.
You don't have
not
Usher
detected.
syndrome. You don't, bitch. You don't have Usher syndrome.
What is Usher syndrome type 3A?
I
What
don't
the
know.
fuck? Zellweger syndrome spectrum. I don't know what any of these things are, but I don't have any of them.
Well,
I
that's
thought
good.
I saw somewhere
But
that
isn't it, I don't want to know any of that.
Oh, health
What
predisposition.
were you scared of getting it back?
Uh,
Like when they gave it to
no,
you?
I
after
was
you,
not.
like,
I'm
no?
already like, there's already so much shit wrong with me, and I really could care less if I die soon or late. I don't care. Like, I just at this point, I'm like, at this point, I'm not gonna do it myself. But if I died tomorrow, it wouldn't be sad. I would not be
No,
sad.
well, your animals would be sad.
My animals would be sad.
Think
but
about Eugene at the funeral.
okay, so these are the ones I have. Age-related macular degeneration. Is that going blind?
Yeah,
Okay, great. But it's age-related.
yeah,
so
that's no
fuck
big
it.
deal. There's nothing you can do about that.
Celiac disease, slightly increased risk. Maybe that's why I fart so much.
Do you fart a lot?
Hereditary. I did like a very long fart the other day, and I was just like, I didn't know you could do that, and it was like 30 seconds long. It was not stopping. I was like, what the? I should be
And
recording.
was
this.
it like audible the whole time?
Yeah, it was great, and it felt so good after. Like I just felt like I let a
Wow.
bunch of gas.
Wow, it's like a good cry.
Yeah, a good fart, like
It's
a
a
big
good
long
ass
fart, is like
cry,
a
yeah.
good fry.
Yeah.
Cry.
What would you rather do, cry or fart? Like fart for 30 seconds or cry for a minute?
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of like how does it?
I'd
make you
rather
feel?
fart for 30 seconds.
Really?
That feels better than crying. Feels better.
Were your animals watching you when you?
Oh
did it?
wait, late onset Alzheimer's variant not detected. I don't. have
Oh,
that
you're
one.
fine.
Wait, Parkinson's variant not detected. I thought it said I had Parkinson's. Maybe I'm just drinking too much caffeine. Maybe
I like how you're like, I thought I
I thought,
had
I thought
shaky.
it said. Can you read?
It says
this?
something about shaky phone
My
syndrome.
macular degeneration is happening.
They said shaky phone syndrome. That's what we'll call it. Like we have to rename Parkinson's to shaky phone syndrome.
The
So
one cool thing about this was like, so you see all your things, and then you can connect. Like it'll show everybody that's already submitted that is connected to you in some way.
cool. And was there anybody?
Like nobody that I knew. Like there was one cousin that I knew, and I sent him a message with a screenshot. I'm like, no way, we're cousins. And he hasn't got back to me. It's like he didn't get. I think it was
Yeah, because his didn't say no for all those. Yeah. So he's like, well, yeah. I mean,
He is like a more removed cousin because he's like, no, he's not. I don't know. But you could see all these people like, and their full names and faces. And so I was like Facebooking these people. I'm like, you're related to me. It's weird.
that is weird.
And
eh?
there's like 300 or 400 people, but like it's
Wow.
all like a
Loose
super
relations, yeah.
removed, like like your cousin's aunt's grandma. Yeah. But it's like weird because you can see where like I have lots of relatives in the States.
Do any of
so-
them look like you? Are there any sort of like lookalikes?
No, I was looking for that too, and I'm like, I don't really think I look.
Because it'd be kind of funny to see the total male version of you. It's like a guy who's like, hi.
I can do that with a like in real life. You can do
Yeah.
that with an app. You can see what you're.
Yeah, I saw one with Adam being old.
Yeah, I did a bunch
was
of them.
creepy.
I did a bunch of them because I wanted.
That was very
I
creepy.
wanted to do like a TikTok about like having like an older husband. I know these like. I just start a new account and just like do things about my old husband.
Here's me and my old husband.
Here's what you have to do as they age. You've got to make sure they're wills. Make sure
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, you're just like a young TikTok mom, and you're like getting his fuck. You know, what'd be funny is you're taking him scuba diving and stuff. Like you're taking him on dangerous day trips, and trying to
You know
kill him
what?
and
There's
stuff.
there's like a sketch duo that I love, and why can't I think of their names right now?
Because of the Alzheimer's.
It's the Alzheimer's kicking in and the macular degeneration. Anyway, it's Amy Goodmurphy and Ryan. Anyway, but they're hilarious, and they do a thing where he's like this old man, and she's this like his goal, and they do TikToks about it, and like they're not real, but it's like it's herpes. Anyway,
But she's doing dangerous stuff with him.
yeah, like
Yeah.
she just do like she takes him swimming and then he drowns and stuff. It's good.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Jeez Louise.
I'm just
so you
so
had a good
bored.
Christmas.
Yeah,
You quit your job.
I
Starting
did.
a new life.
starting a new life of nothing.
Is Adam enjoying his job still?
I don't know. I don't know if I could ever say he's enjoying it, but
Yeah.
he'll do it.
He'll do it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm sure he enjoys it in some ways, but it's not
I guess
like
being a cook and working up in a mine is sort of like being like a really good musician who just like sings like hoo at the casino.
But you know what? He actually gets to be way more creative there than I think at his other jobs because they
Yeah.
like let him do the
I
menu
guess you're
planning
right.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
when you're working at like
When
yeah.
you're working at Cactus Club, no,
it's
you
like, what are you throwing extra shit in there
Yeah,
for?
yeah.
Like, well, I just taste better with a little. You fucking idiot.
yeah,
like,
you've wrecked the recipe.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's got to be to a T. But
Yeah.
up there at least to get. I just assumed when you're cooking for miners, they're just like, they just want chicken fingers every night. Chicken fingers, fries, and if you cook like something awesome, where the salad, like just a salad with the
Yeah.
tomatoes cut funny, you know. When somebody put the time in on the tomatoes, and you're like, somebody fucking put some tomato time into this salad.
Well, he said everyone said the food improved when he got there, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
They do like
because guess what? The old cook wasn't brand new.
Yeah.
So they were like,
Oh, they were sick,
here you
yeah.
go, you
Yeah.
just the fucking tuna sandwich. Here
He'll
you
do
go.
stuff, and he'll do stuff for them, which I'm like, I don't know how long, but there's like a lot of people from Newfoundland, so he makes like Newfoundland dishes, and like this one kid asked him if he could make craft dinner and wieners, and so he's like, well, we don't have craft dinner, but I can make it, and so he made like he got the pasta and he made it, and he like made it, he dyed it, put some orange food coloring dye just to make it look more like,
Oh wow.
and he put wieners in it, and they were so excited. He's a
That
great
is cool.
human being. He's like
Yeah.
he's too good for this earth. Like he's too nice.
Yeah, he is a fucking nice guy.
He's
It's
a
weird.
very
You
nice
always
guy.
wonder, like, you're just like, is this are you okay?
But there's nothing off about him. He hates people and he gets angry too, but he's just like kind to people, like, which is nice.
yeah.
Like he's not like he's just I
Yeah,
don't-
I'm kind to people too, but I'm not looking to talk
but
to
you're
any
not
of
like
them.
outgoing and
Yeah,
like
I'm not
wanting to like
outgoing. I
I would
don't
come and
wanna-
pick him up from work and he'd be sitting in the alley behind Cactus
Talking
Club
to
talking to some
somebody.
homeless guy or like just
Yeah, he just likes to talk.
and people that are weird are magnetized to him. Like they'll just anybody that's odd will
Well,
come
yeah,
to
because
Adam.
well, guess what? Odd people are used to everybody avoiding talking to them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Adam's like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" And they're like, "Nobody has said,
Yeah,
hey, buddy, what's up
that's
to me in
true.
6 years."
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's up.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. And then he's like, "Well, tell me about it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, for fuck's sakes, I believe it's been 27 years since a fucking complete stranger asked me to tell, like, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself." Like, those guys are like, "Dude, look at how I'm dressed. Are you sure you want to ask me that?" Like, "Yeah, I see your suspenders and your cape, and I want to know how your mom's doing." And they're like, "Holy fuck." So, yeah, I'm not looking to get into those conversations, and most people aren't.
No, most
But he's
people
different.
aren't.
He just
yeah.
likes to talk to people.
Yeah, he's a people person.
He should have his own podcast where he just interviews crazy people.
I think he did try to do a podcast with one of his cook friends in Vancouver, but they did like one episode and they never did anything with it. That's like I think
Yeah.
everybody has a podcast that they start and they just like, no, that's too much. like,
Yeah, or you get into like how many people listened.
Yeah.
and then you're like 2. It's
Yeah.
like mom.
the
and
best thing to do is to not think about people listening and to not think about money because
Well,
none
yeah.
of it's gonna happen.
Well, and because the other thing is like whoever generally the people who are going to listen in the beginning are people you don't even want listening.
yeah,
So you've got 6 listeners, and 4 of them you're like, ah, fuck.
like Will Hannigan.
Yeah, like I don't want my dad. Like it's just my dad. Because once in a while my dad's like, what's your broadcast? It's Bread Lady Stare. And I'm like, no, it's not. And then I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is Bread Lady Stare. It's available on iTunes. It's called Bread Lady Stare, and it's a broadcast.
I can see. Hey Google, play.
Hey
Red-
Google, pray Bled Davy Stare on. Oh, for fuck's sakes! It's playing another montage.
I get mad at Siri when she, not Siri, at like Alexa, because that's what I have. When she doesn't do what I want her to do, I'm like, get so angry. And
I like
this
it when
is such
peop-
a dumb problem to have.
My favorite is when people take pride in the computer preferring their voice.
Oh, really?
Those are the people I love. My dad does that, and I know other people that do it where they're like, hey, Google, play the, and then it does. And then I'm like, hey, Google, quit. And then it doesn't quit. And he's like, that's because it doesn't understand your voice. But it does understand my voice. And they're all like kind of like a little smirk.
Like it wasn't
it's like, yeah, congratulations.
That's
the
how it
fucking
works.
Microchip, the microchip likes you more.
They
And
can't
her
have an
middle-
Amazon in that
her
house.
middle name is Hey Google.
Hey, Alexa, hey, Google, Siri. Alexa, hey, Google, Siri, get over here.
Alexa, hey Google, Siri, get over here
That'd
now.
be a good bunch of names for some pets.
I'm sorry, I don't. And then she talks like that.
Yeah.
Because how does Alexa talk? Does Alexa have a sexy, fun voice?
Well, she's like 6, so she doesn't have a sexy, fun voice, Sean.
But she has a pussy. We know that. They all do,
They all do.
Kathleen. Little boys
That's
have
true.
cocks. Little
That's
girls have pussies.
It's true. I'm glad we're using the correct terminology.
Yeah. I mean, this is just biology. This is how they teach it in grade 6. Because now my son is in grade 6, so they send like a thing home, and it's like, if you don't want your kids to learn about pussies and cocks and fucking, then you sign right here.
And did you sign it or do you let them listen?
Well, let them listen in.
Every kid has to go through sex ed because every kid has to have the question box. Every kid has to ask.
What, did you ever
weird
throw anything in
questions.
the question box?
Oh yeah, I threw lots of questions in. I remember one kid asked what an orgasm felt like, and the teacher said like a bunch of sneezes. I think I've said that on the podcast
Like
before.
a bunch of achoo! Yeah, multiple sneezes. That's
Oh,
what it is.
I loved sex ed. Like Jana was in my we had so much fun in sex ed. We would just laugh our asses off.
Yeah, because you guys were very free with it, right? You're like, well, you don't need to put this in the box. I'll ask you right now, bitch. Like, you guys didn't. You guys were like, why is there a box? Like, when you're
I'm not
pussy,
sure.
you guys didn't need a. You guys weren't putting things in the box. You were just raising your hand and asking questions about. Oh, they were putting too many. I'll put something in the box. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the sex. I think we did one where it was like the boys and the girls got separated, and then when the girls came back in, it was like, what the?
They
fuck?
had gone to a war.
Yeah,
and
they
come back like
they came back like, holy fuck!
this is gonna happen to us.
Wow.
And the guys are like, we're gonna wet dreams
We're
and
gonna
boners.
do that. We were gonna.
I guess it's way more distressing.
Oh, yeah.
Sex ed, be like, oh shit, that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys, in a sec.
nothing
Yeah,
happened.
we're gonna have a wet dream once in a while. We might get a boner. It's awesome. yeah.
We're gonna have hair down there.
You're gonna now, for the rest of your life, every month, go through severe pain, and,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be
It's
uncomfortable.
gonna hurt. Everybody's
and
gonna hate you.
People are gonna think you're gross because it's happening, even though it happens to
Because it
every
is,
single
yeah,
one.
and because it is gross, yeah.
And people are gonna blame all your moods on your period.
Like, oh, look, somebody's on their period. Stop it. Yeah, I
That's
never
why-
really thought about girls who were going through that in high school. You were just like, oh,
This was like elementary and junior high. We had sex ed in grade 5. I think that's when
Really?
we started having it.
That's when you started getting into it.
Yeah, I remember there was like a cartoon version of it, and it was just like I don't know why I remember this. This guy was on a diving board, and like it was so unrealistic, like because he was just like boom, and he got a boner, and it was like bang. It made that sound, and I was like, so
This
then
is
like you're
not
just expecting
embarrassing.
boners to just like pop.
Yeah, and it's such a
Not without a lot of
it's such a
drugs.
misogynist video that it's like a guy in a diving board gets a boner and somebody's like, that's not embarrassing.
Well, I think girls are
That's
just like
nature. And
but-
then girls bleed and they're like, that's disgusting.
yeah, yeah.
See that girl bleeding in the pool? Grotesque. See that boy with a boner? That's Mother Nature. Boy, yo, 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 yo.
Do you have a boner? You can swim. Do you have your period? Get the fuck out of
Get
the pool.
out of the pool now.
I don't care what those tampon commercials tell you.
No, get out. Go have a shower. Go have a cry. Go have a think about it. You go think about it.
You go sit in the corner and think about your period.
Did your mom walk you through periods? Is that what moms are for?
Well, my mom, like, she just, I remember got it. I think I don't know, I've told this before.
You probably did, but
I got,
don't
like, my
care.
period in grade 5. Like,
That's
very
early.
young.
Isn't that early?
And I was wearing, like, white cotton ginny denim overalls. And this teacher came up to me and she was like, come with me, Kathleen.
Hi
And she's like,
there.
I think you got your period. And I just, like, burst into
You're like,
tears. I was
either those are the worst chip and pepper. Either those are the
Cotton ginny, cotton ginny.
But it was fun. She'd just be like, either those are the worst chip and pepper overalls I've ever seen,
tie-dye.
with all white and then one red splotch on your vagina area, or you just
Oh
had
my
your first
God.
period.
Yeah. So then I called my mom and I'm like crying and then she's like, So then I walked home with a jacket tied around my waist, and then I'm sitting on my like front steps, and my mom comes up. She's got bags of pads and stuff, and she's like, "Yay! I'm so excited!"
She's so
I'm like,
excited.
"Oh, I was so upset. I was so upset."
Oh, that's weird for a mom to be like that too, because
I don't
usually
know if it
moms and
is,
dads
though.
are like, well, maybe they like
I
to.
think that like, well, it's like that whole like
It's wisdom time, yeah. Like,
wisdom
to tell her
time.
some
It's like,
wisdom.
okay, like, or it's like, alert, alert, this thing is about to turn into a huge cunt for the next 10 years. So just alert, alert.
Yeah, this
I-
is gonna be a problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
because usually moms and dads are like, oh no, I want them to stay little forever.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure your dad wasn't like, yeah.
I don't even know if anybody told my dad. My dad
Nobody
didn't want
told
to
my dad.
know about it.
Yeah, back then guys never knew about
Oh,
it.
it was, oh, yeah, no, it was
Dads
just like
never
mother
knew.
deals with this.
Yeah, it was just like, what are you telling me for?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all it was. Like maybe he would be like, get me the blah blah blah. Like usually if the wife was mad at the husband, that's when it would be like, you know, you fucking like, you know, like you're going to this, I have to do everything around here. And then like when you're at the store, get some stuff for your daughter's vagina. Like, oh my God, I have to do that.
And then they send you, and you have to pick something out, and you always pick the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's the joke, right?
Yeah, that's the
That's
joke.
the old joke where we get the wings one. Like we get the one, we get pads. We're like buying pads.
I'm a tampon girl.
Yeah. Because, yeah, we don't want to think about anything going in there.
No.
So we're just like, pads, keep it out to the outside. Keep it outside, please. And they're like, nobody buys pads anymore, sir. That's for old women who shit themselves. Like, nope, my daughter's going to be all pads. Ain't
Oh
nothing
my
going up
God.
in there.
Oh, my God.
That is exit only.
Oh my God, are little girls gonna be on Diva Cups now? Because that is like you fully fist yourself for those things.
Fully fist
You gotta
yourself.
get yourself.
You really got to get your hand in
They
there.
are the greatest thing ever, though. It's like you don't even have your period. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to ladies, I think.
Yeah, but do you ever like sometimes like lean over quick and then you hear like
No.
glass breaking
No.
inside of you? Like that's probably the worst place to hear a glass break is right up inside your
It's
puss.
not- Do you think that Diva Cups are made of glass?
Yeah, I thought so.
No, you do not. You do not.
I thought that they were like wine glasses or
Oh
something.
my gosh.
You know where those glasses you drink sherry out of? Like they're tall and stuff. Like champagne. I thought it was just a champagne.
They're plastic,
glass.
like they're rubber plastic.
that can still break and it hurts. Can't it? Or I guess they probably make Diva Cups strong enough that they don't break inside when you lean over. or,
When you lean
or
over.
you lean back. What the fuck?
You have to
I
every
think
time
my
you put
Diva
it in,
Cup
though.
just
Every
snapped
time
ins-
you put it in, you have to do the handstand test
Oh
to
yeah.
make sure it's in properly.
It's weird. People are texting me.
Who's texting you? A bunch of people?
Yeah, well, not really. Just one person, a
Oh.
bunch.
Are they one of those conversation texts where they like send 8?
I don't
Every
really have
thought.
too many people that like conversations.
No,
in
but I mean, like
text.
when they text, do they like send, hey, send, what's up? Send, like, do they send like 20 text messages or one big long one?
One long one.
Okay.
This is the thing. Yeah, they'll tell like a story with it, and then they, there's 3 or 4 people in it.
Oh, it's a group
How many group
chat.
texts do you have going like at any given time?
Not many.
No,
I don't like them.
just one group text with a group of good friends.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have a group thing. I think my only group chat is this group.
Have you ever done a group text where you decide like I don't like that person, and then so I'm not they're out. Like I'm in a group text with everybody from this group text,
you just don't respond
minus
to
that person. Like fuck that person.
You just mentally block that person.
Yeah, like they text and it's like, oh, that's in that thread. I don't fucking engage in that thread. I text everybody in this group, but that person. And then they're like, how come that person never texts? Like, oh, they do, and then you get it in the wrong one. You fucking like, didn't I tell you about that? Like,
Yeah,
no,
group texts
you were.
are too dangerous. You
Yeah,
could
because
all,
I'm like,
that's
I
when-
told you about that.
I
No,
think-
you didn't. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
In that group text. Ah, fuck. It was the one that you're not in that everybody else is.
Or you start shit talking that person and you're in the wrong group text. That's a dangerous game. That's
Yeah.
Group texts are too dangerous.
Way too
Not
dangerous.
smart. I hear families have them like, oh, I sent it to my family group chat. I'm like, really?
That's pretty
like
weak.
you text your parents stuff.
At the same time. Yeah, you're supposed to text one of them and play them off of each other.
I get it if you like live at home with your parents of your children and it's like a group like pick me up or like, but like adult children with their whole entire families.
And kids
Weird.
don't text parents back. Like I'll text my kids and they're just like, yeah. And then
Oh, they don't
The
even.
next day, I'm like, hey, did you get that text? Yeah, I did. You didn't think to text back? Like, no, I got it. I received it.
I'm the worst at responding to texts and messages. Like, I'll see them. I have so many messages that I haven't clicked on just so that people don't know that I haven't. I just don't want to get into it with anyone.
Yeah,
Literally.
I know. I'll go through periods like that too, where I'm like, I'll get back to everybody in a week and a half.
Yeah, I just don't want to talk like to
Yeah.
anybody or hear
No.
any weird things.
Yeah, just don't feel like faking it right now. Like, I don't really feel like faking it.
Yeah.
I'll
No.
fake it tomorrow. I'll wake up and see how much I feel like faking it. And then I wake up and like, hey, today's gonna be a good day to fake it. I'm gonna go and get back to a bunch of people and fake it. And then the next day I'm like, I don't want to fake it. But it never like really comes natural. I'm never like, I want to dive into all these old messages and talk to some people.
Yeah.
You know, that's never strikes me as a good idea.
I thought I had COVID and then I didn't.
No?
So I got those little test kits that you can get for free. And I was feeling like I had a sore throat one day. So I took the test and there was like a faint line next to the C. And I was like, oh, does that mean I have COVID or what does that mean? And then and they said even a faint line. So then I'm like, well, I have to stay home now. And then I woke up the next day and I was fine. Like, I'm like, I don't feel sick at all. So I took another test and nothing. And I took one more and nothing. So I don't think I had it.
Or maybe you did for a minute? I don't know.
Like, I kind of had it. Then it was like, ooh, don't go in this one. This one's already fucked up enough. The virus.
This is very
Yeah, the virus walked in, looked around, and walked right
Yeah.
out.
No, fuck, I hate this host. Put your shoes back on. We're leaving. What? But I thought we were staying in this host. Dad, you promised. You promised we were done moving.
You said this host had free Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Dad, you promised.
That'd
Like,
be funny
look,
if COVID asked you for your Wi-Fi password.
you are, like, go fucking little COVIDs running around.
Hey, while
like,
I'm in here,
I
can
was
have
a
your
military. I was a military brat. While I'm in here, can I use your Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
What do you think their password would be? Yeah, I mean, there was this epidemiologist that was like, sadly enough, we just have to wait for it to run through the unvaccinated population. All the unvaccinated people that will die of this will die, and then the next time
And
it
then we
comes
can get on with
around,
our
and then we get
lives.
on with it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
There's like a subreddit now called the Herman Cain Award because he
Oh, yeah.
denied COVID and then he died from it. And it's actually, it's crazy because it's just that they'll find someone that died from it that had been posting all their and they show all the memes they posted, all the this is bullshit, all this.
And exactly
and
when
then
it stopped,
and then
yeah.
like at the last 3 slides, it's usually like, please pray for so and so. They're blah 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 blah. Oh, we lost them due to COVID, and it's just like, even now, if you still deny that this is real, die. Who cares? Who cares?
Or if you've turned yourself into the kind of person that is just like vaccines, like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
if you're just deathly afraid of vaccines, like you've been psychologically impacted by the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? Like you've been psychologically damaged by the pandemic if you're running around thinking like, but it's understandable, right? It's
Yeah.
a natural thing for people to not want to put a foreign substance in their body.
We've all been psychologically damaged by this pandemic. Like,
And so sometimes I feel sort of, in some ways sorry for some people that are like, no, the vaccine actually, did you hear about that heart thing? And then, because what are they? They're just consumers. They're just
Yeah.
consuming this information. And it's like, if every day you woke up and there was 3 more myocarditis deaths and just tweets, right? Because like if you go to an anti-vax conspiracy theorist, it'll be, like 100 posts and 80 of them are other tweets saying like, well, my dad is dead and he died from interestingly enough, 2 days after taking his second dose of Pfizer. So it's just like
oh, they always blame it on it.
anecdotal tweets
someone's like,
over and over.
My friend, one of the ones that died, she said, my friend went in the hospital. They put her on a ventilator. An hour later, she was dead. It was the ventilator. I was like, well, no, she died from anyway. Do you think that I sometimes feel like Joe Rogan has the vaccine, and sometimes I feel that he's just like doing all this because he thinks it's funny and fucking with people, because the group of guys that hang out with, they love fucking with people. They're all that kind of a comedian.
Well,
like,
and
sometimes I feel like maybe he's just totally like punking all these people.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of given up on him just in terms of like giving Alex Jones any kind of platform, even
Yeah.
as a joke. Like,
yeah.
like giving somebody who like made his career
Yeah.
out of destroying like people's lives who already lost children in
Yeah.
Sandy Hook, like. Because he had to go, in order for Alex Jones to be Alex Jones, for us all to know his name, he had to go to that level.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking crazy conspiracy theorists. He had to be the guy that was like, hey,
Yeah.
those fucking parents are crisis actors. Like, he had to take it to the red line
Oh yeah.
to be the man.
Yeah.
And now he's cashed in. And then for Rogan
But that's
to
what
bring
Rogan's
him in.
doing. He's taking it to the red line for every, like, 'cause to make, I mean, he just got millions of dollars. He's got to keep people
Yeah.
listening to him. Like, he's got to
Well-
keep people, he's got to keep his name out there, regardless of whether it's for a good
And
reason or a bad
no
reason.
matter how much money you have, you become your audience a
Yeah.
little bit. So for him, he's sort of, the people who hate him, he's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then the people who love him, he's like, well, what do they want to hear about?
Yeah.
So the people who love him are like,
Exactly, yeah.
bring on Alex Jones
Yeah.
and bring on Brett Weinstein and let him talk about Pfizer. Bring
Yeah.
on and then he's like, okay, cool. Like, you guys are cooler than these other fucking woke liberal
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
I used to consider to be like, myself. So he's just becoming his audience. He's
Yeah.
been like eaten alive by his audience. And now his podcast is just like what the craziest people in
Yeah.
his audience want.
It's
to
a
see.
clickbait podcast. It totally is a clickbait podcast, and it's weird. It's just weird, like seeing it's just weird seeing where certain comedians have gone.
Well, and he's one of the most influential people on the planet,
Totally,
which is weird,
He's,
right?
I've said it since forever. He's man Oprah. Like, he's like, remember when Oprah would be like, go and buy this cream, and that cream would all of a sudden be a #1 bestseller. Yeah, anything Oprah said do, every woman in the world would do. And then same thing with Joe Rogan. It's like every guy that listens to him, if he's like fart in a jar and smell it every morning, they'll start
Yeah.
doing that. It's just
Well, and it's great for a lot of his audience because they're like, this is a book I don't have to read. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I'm pretty well read.
Yeah.
Like, well, when's the last book you read? Hundreds of Joe Rogan podcasts.
yeah. I let Joe Rogan do my research. Where
he interviewed an author.
he does have interviews with interesting people. I don't really listen to it, but I don't
No,
know.
I
It's,
kinda-
weird.
yeah.
It's weird how influential some things have become. Like, it's
Well, the audience is massive.
Yeah.
His audience is way bigger than anybody else's audience.
Yeah.
Like, in any media, really. Like, it's huge.
yeah.
I mean, I think I saw something where it's like 50 times his audience for one podcast is like 50 times bigger than like CNN Tonight
Yeah.
or whatever, like any CNN show. And it's like, that's insane. So it's like Joe Rogan, anything on Fox,
Yeah.
like those are the most gigantic. Alex Jones, like they all have way bigger audiences. So everybody talks about like the liberal media bias, but the liberal media is peanuts.
Yeah.
Because they're reporting on real boring stories.
Yeah.
Like if you go to CBC, it's boring. They're reporting on like real boring shit with a tilt, but nothing exciting. It's all the right wing stuff that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's like, look at Biden died, or did he? Look at him. Look at Hillary Clinton has an ankle bracelet. She's in prison. Like, that's cool.
It's
they have way more exciting
sensational.
stories.
It's
yeah.
way more exciting. The right
And
wing
Rogan
media.
will bring on like Brett Weinstein,
Yeah.
and he'll bring on people that are just going to talk a load of anti-vax bullshit.
Yeah.
And he just gets to be the interviewer.
I think he should have people on both sides. Like, I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you want to get everybody listening?
I don't know.
But
Whatever.
I guess you do have to be one. You're right. It's like an Alex Jones thing. You have to be the most extreme to get attention in all
Yeah.
of this stuff.
And like even for our podcast, anybody who's doing any podcast, if all of a sudden you're like, oh fuck, like 5,000 people listen to per episode,
Yeah.
and like look at all these comments,
yeah.
and then all the comments are from people that are of a certain they want to hear certain things, like
Yeah.
bring on so and so or talk about this, and then you're like, well, maybe we should. I mean, those are the people that are listening.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about less what we want to talk about and more what the
Make
people
them
who,
happy.
yeah.
Make the
So I
people
think
happy.
Rogan is kind of on that train where it's like his craziest fans are the ones who drive the content, and it just makes him look fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But who cares?
And did you see that Patton Oswalt apologized for taking a picture with Dave Chappelle? Like, he literally apologized for taking, because people were saying you're not an ally anymore if you're going to be around Dave Chappelle. And it's like, and then he wrote this big long post, which Tyler Morrison, I think I posted it because he's like, he called him, patting himself on the back, Oswald, because I lost so much respect for him. Like, I'm just like, that's your friend for 30 plus years, and you're gonna let a whole bunch of people who are just so angry get mad at you because you took a picture with your friend because you don't have the same ideals. And like a bunch of people said you should take that down, you should apologize to the trans community, but then all these people were like, why can he not be friends with his friend?
Yeah,
Like,
well, and you also know that a photo is taken from the past,
yeah.
right? Like it's
No, this was recent. It was New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
It was a New Year's
Well,
Eve.
but still, and like two famous people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're two famous people out, and somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, can I get it?" And then you turn around and you're like, "No, I will not." Like
Yeah.
it's easy for us
But he
to not have
posted this
photos.
nice post about it. Oh, it was so great seeing my friend Dave on New Year's Eve, blah, blah, blah. My friend for 35 plus years. And then the next post or two posts down was like, I have to apologize. A picture of him writing in a spiral notebook or whatever. Like, it's so fucking stupid. And it's just like, it just made me feel so icky that like your
Yeah.
friends will throw you under the bus so fast nowadays because
yeah,
they
they
don't
gotta-
want to look bad.
They
but
gotta
it's
go
like,
get that Ratatouille money, man.
yes, get that Ratatouille money.
You go get that Ratatouille money, Patton. You don't lose that Ratatouille money over fucking Chappelle.
I was just like, that was gross. That was just sad and disappointing.
And for him, it's not money. It's more just like, this is my tribe.
well, yeah,
Right,
he's a
this is
very
my-
liberal comedian,
yeah.
so all these people were messaging him, and so he probably saw like 1,000 messages of people screaming at him saying,
And
"How
he's like,
horrible!"
no way I'm getting caught up in.
Yeah.
I will. Nope. Yeah, I'm
But
not
if
going
you,
to get caught
if
up in
the
this.
one thing I've learned about social media from listening to people who've had issues with it is just like, just shut up about it. Just be quiet about it, because in a day, someone else will be talking about something else. Like they're not gonna hold on to it forever.
But it's also hard to do that because you're like, well, I mean, this is bigger. This thing that's blowing up in my face is bigger than anything else that's happened to me
Yeah.
before, and probably bigger than anything that will happen to me. So this is sort of like my internet legacy is like, hey, isn't that guy that fucked that fish? And you're like, "Bah," and then, like, I told you to be quiet about that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I'm just going to go down as the fish fucker then.
yeah.
I'm just going to fucking let that be my thing.
It's
Like,
true.
he's the guy that fucked that fish. Isn't he that sexual assault guy? Like, oh, you got to let, I told you to let that slide. Like, it's hard to.
But
It's gotta be hard.
that thing, that was silly. That he should have just been quiet. Like who? Like
Yeah, I
why
mean,
would you post and then you stir up a whole other thing? And it's just like I can just see like I'm sure Dave Chappelle's like, what the fuck is wrong with this idiot?
Well, like I'm not Dave Chappelle,
Yeah.
like it's, yeah, he could have softened it and just been like, I mean, I've known the guy for a long time. Like, I don't necessarily personally endorse every piece of material he does,
Yeah.
but we were friends.
yeah,
Like, I know.
that's how it started. That's how the post starts. It starts as like I don't believe the same things. But then he started going, but Dave has disappointed me recently in how much he's against the trans community, which I'm like, you need to watch these things because he doesn't like say any like kill trans people. He doesn't say stuff like that. He just like talks openly about it. He talks openly about it, and it's made them so upset, and they will not listen to anything anyone says. Well, it's just this anger that's just out of control. But I was just like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, these are always the most interesting sort of, when you talk about identity politics, is watching the inner machinations of it, because you're like, I'm a black guy, so I have some gravitas in this arena
Yeah.
to talk about being marginalized, and then the trans community can attack him, and it's like, but where are we on the totem pole of being able to have open grievances?
Yeah.
Like, and then there's that's the fight, is like, do I get to, the trans community's like, yeah, you're a black male, but you don't get to do that to us because we're higher in the hierarchy of marginalized communities than you. And he's kind of saying, I don't think you are.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the fight, is he's like, I'm going to keep talking about it because you are not higher up than me
Yeah.
in this shit.
Yeah.
You're not. And they're like, yeah, we are. Like, you're a privileged guy and blah, blah, blah. So it is a fun fight to watch unfold, but I don't care.
No, yeah, no, I would.
I'm not cheering for or against anybody.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I need to defend Dave Chappelle? The guy's worth $1 zillion.
He doesn't care.
Like, he's fine. I'm not gonna waste a fucking second like defending a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, you need to leave that billionaire alone. Like, he's fine. He'll be fine. He could live the rest of his life in a fucking helicopter if he wanted to. He could just be like, let's go up and never come down. And then just like hire other helicopters to come and refuel them. and he wouldn't run out of money.
It's
He
true.
could live the rest of his fucking life in a helicopter that never lands, and he would die with over $1 million.
And that's why he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, like, so go ahead, have a
Use
good time.
that power.
So we didn't get a thing today,
I
did we?
thought I had a scratchy, but I don't.
That's okay. You know, it would have been a fucking big time winner anyway.
But, I mean, this was episode 100, so that was a bad.
That's special. Too bad you're so down in the dumps.
Down in the dumps.
You're not down in the dumps. You're like, I don't care if I die. I read that 23andMe and I was like, bring it, bitch. I'm not scared of death.
Hey, I think that's a positive thing. I think being not afraid
Yeah?
of death is a positive thing.
I guess so.
I'm
but
going to
it's
live
a
my
little
life to the kind of fullest, but not
yeah.
really.
Too unafraid.
Yeah. You're supposed to be a little scared. You're not supposed to like, I'll walk into the flames. Yeah. Yeah, just like gangs of New York, you'll walk into fucking a burning building to get a nickel.
I love it. If I died tomorrow, I wouldn't be sad. No, you wouldn't.
You'd be
fucking
dead, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be sad and you'd be. No, you wouldn't. No, okay, you'd be
I would
sad.
take Eugene in his little black outfit.
Well, oh, he almost died at Christmas, actually. We were
What?
driving Adam's dad's truck to go get Christmas presents, and we were like leaving this parking lot, and all the truck literally just fell off. Like a wheel fell off. Like we're driving and it just went thump, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And Adam gets out, and the wheel is like on its side or whatever. We didn't do anything. Like we didn't. It was like we were like 10 seconds away from like being on a highway.
Oh my God.
And the guy's like, yeah, if that had, that was the best part about all of it. It's like, yeah, if you guys had been on the highway, you'd have flipped. So for sure you'd have flipped. So I was just like, oh my
And
God.
Eugene was in the very back?
No dogs with us. They would have been with their
Oh, okay.
grandparents.
I thought
They
you
would
said
have been
Eugene
orphan
almost,
dogs.
I thought you said Eugene almost died.
We almost died.
Oh, you almost died.
Yeah.
All right.
We almost
well,
died.
who cares about that?
Think
I
about the
thought
Facebook
Eugene
tributes,
almost
though. There'd be some good ones.
There would be some good ones.
As long as Sean started the thread.
I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
start the thread.
Can
Kathleen
you promise me
is dead.
that you start the first Kathleen is dead?
You'll announce it to the.
And I'll just say Kathleen is
Yeah,
dead.
don't do a tribute. Just say
No,
Kathleen is dead.
McGee is dead. And then I'll wait for like 100 comments, and then I'll chime in like, it's confirmed. Like, because there'll be people like, how do you know this? Please tell me how you know. And then I won't say.
Fingers on her neck right
Yeah.
now. I don't feel a thing.
It's
Cold.
and she wasn't. No, she is dead. Yeah. False alarm, everybody. I thought she was dead earlier when I posted.
Comment? No, she is dead.
No,
Now
she
she's
is dead.
now she's dead.
Does anybody want her gigs?
She did have 2 nights in Red Deer coming up.
Honestly.
She had an evening in Fort McMurray.
She left Sean all of her material in the will.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I ran into there was a lady who was like a madam at a small town show, and I talked to her about because she's like into, and I thought it was like fascinating. Like I just think the idea of like being prostitution is like kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just this fascinating profession. It's
Yeah.
you know, like, and we are in this weird place where it's like, okay, well, if we're removing the stigma of sex work, then how much do we remove the stigma of acquiring sex work?
Yeah.
Right.
That's why it should be legal.
Johns, right? Like, well,
That's why
because
it
that's
should
what
be
makes it
legal.
so complicated. Is like we still want to vilify the Johns,
Yeah. Well, that's because they're
Um,
murdering the prostitutes.
right? The ones, but we sort of still don't like them.
Yeah.
Not just the murderers, like all the guys.
Well,
right?
it's like I don't have a
Are
problem
we-
with a dude that goes to a rub and tug. I'm like, that's fine. That's what prostitution should be. You should be able to walk into a house of ladies or men, whatever, pay to have sex and leave and not feel like a piece of shit. It shouldn't be these girls on the street going into places with strange people being put into vulnerable positions.
But it was just funny because she had this one funny story about how, like, you know, she said you'll be surprised the number of times a guy calls for a prostitute and then says that he has a nurse fetish or a doctor fetish, and then when they show up, he needs a nurse or a doctor. Like he's like, you know,
Oh,
sick
he's
or
like,
hurt
oh,
in a
no.
hotel room, and like, you're a nurse, and
Why?
they're like,
Isn't
no, I'm
Is an escort
a
cheaper than a nurse?
prostitute who came here for a nurse fetish, like nurse, you know, and then he
Oh
needs
my
like
God.
actual medical care from a
What?
prostitute with a fucking
That
little
would be weird.
hat on with a, you know, the Red Cross
oh
on
my
it.
God.
Yeah. So she
Oh
said
my
that happens
God.
quite a bit, which I thought was funny.
Quite a bit. That seems like call a hospital.
Well, because a lot of them are like these crazy. I mean, imagine what these girls walk into most of the time.
Mhm.
They're crazy, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what I mean. Like we're sitting here saying like, oh, sex work is fine, but look at these guys who get it are fucking crazy.
But But
Like how can we remove the stigma of the
they
female
need to
act?
stop murdering them. They need to stop.
Well,
acting
but
doing
that'll
weird
never
shit.
always happen because sometimes they
Yeah.
have to die. They're being annoying. But I just mean like it's just weird that we can remove so much stigma
Yeah.
on that side of it,
I
and
know,
then
it
the
sucks
men
for
who still
guys.
acquire it are like cuckoo.
It sucks for guys.
But they are cuckoo. So like she's like, yeah, these guys are, they don't want to go to the hospital, or they don't want, like,
Yeah.
they're scared of people
Yeah.
and going out.
Well,
they don't-
there's a graphic novel called Paying for It or something, I think, and it's by this guy who just he got out of a relationship that like completely broke his heart, and he decided he didn't want any more romantic relationships. He just wanted to have sex, so he started seeing hookers.
Mhm.
And it's a very interesting book because he's like, I'm just like a regular, I'm not like a weirdo, I'm not a kook, but like we
No.
only hear about the crazy people that murder them and like do crazy stuff.
You
to
just got to
them.
be loaded, right? Like you just have to have a very good job.
Yeah,
That's all
or
it takes.
I don't know, like a very good. What do you mean? Like
Well,
could
you
just
can't
be like a
be.
regular.
You can't.
afford
Yeah, you
it.
can't work at A&W and then be like, well, it's Saturday.
I'm
Woo!
gonna get a hooker.
Yeah, 3 hours. Stick around, hun. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, you work the grill at an A&W.
Yeah.
Like, you need to back off this prostitution thing. So yeah, you just have to have a great job,
Yeah,
and then you can make it work.
you can make it work. I think that it is more common than we realize, but people don't talk about it. So guys,
sure.
because they don't want to be thought of as like a gross pervert, but it's like, I think many guys would be like, if I could just pay to have a blowjob and not have to take a girl out on a $500 date and listen to her talk about everything, if I could just do that, I would. And I think most guys would.
Yeah, except for like then it's somebody who would, they don't want to be there. Like that's what I can't ever get around is like they don't want to be here.
They're just doing a job. If
I
you
know,
hired
but
a
it's
plumber,
like, yeah, but
that
it's
plumber
not,
doesn't want to be there. Are you okay?
I know, I guess, but still, there's something about it that's like
You
this
need-
is off.
You need to feel loved.
They have to want to be there, right? Like
Well,
if they
some of
don't
them
like,
do,
I don't want to be.
though.
Well, they want to be there for the money, right? Like
Yeah.
you want them. I don't
They're
know.
there.
Yeah, it has no interest. I have no interest in it from that perspective of just somebody that's like, oh boy, here we
Yeah.
go again. Like right before they open the door, they just like look at themselves in like some hallway mirror, and they're like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, but at least they're getting paid.
Hi.
I've walked down a hallway of a hotel carrying my shoes thinking I should have been paid for that before. So at least these girls are getting paid.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Sometimes we don't want to be there either.
that's true. Yeah, consent is a tricky thing.
Oh.
Oh well. Well, thanks for doing your own podcast, episode 100.
We did it. We made 100.
Yeah.
Now will you
never.
get off our backs? Will, Nick, and Dick. Those are the three that have been asking.
Oh, there's
for-
only 3.
That's it. That's it. That's all. Listen.
The three fucking musketeers.
Will told us that he would sponsor it. I'm like, okay, $100 $400 a month.
I'll sponsor it.
Hannigan, no.
That's awful.
I
Can you
know.
imagine like letting a young comedian sponsor your podcast? That's horrible. That's like starting a comedy course where you're just like, you can do it.
Oh yeah.
You might as well just start a comedy course. Just like, you can do this. Tell your stories. Yeah. Talk about what you know.
That's a good idea to save your comedy tips to the very end of the podcast. That keeps them listening.
Talk about what you know.
So make sure you put that in the description as our clickbait for
Sean
this week.
says
Sean
talk-
gives more wise wisdom from
Words.
comedy.
Yeah. And they'll be like, ah, what a joke. That's a ripoff. Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Hopefully we'll do this again next week. Who knows?
All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.